with you.
There's a question at the back, thank you.
Well, not so much a question. I can't let the opportunity pass from talking from the City of Sheffield Pipe Band, which is at the far end. It's like the Boys Brigade Band. It's a starters band. Sometimes the boys are a bit old, but nonetheless we're starters and we're keen. Now, I have to say that since the introduction of the new qualification, the band really has some focus now. And I don't want to put it on record that thanks, we've hosted Joe twice now down to England to do the exam.
The PDQ qualifications?
That's qualifications, yes.
And you mean has it brought up the standard of piper and drummer?
I think it's more than that, it's focused us.
Mm.
We're never going to be a competition band. People who are competition standard go out to other bands and come back to us for a social aspect. Because our band is, I suppose, as much a social band than a young people's, older people's, beginners band. And that qualification has certainly given us something to focus our thinking around.
It's maybe worth saying that the qualification structure isn't complete yet. There is still to come into being a two-party qualification in pipe band studies, and that is something that hasn't really been tackled before. But what it's really trying to do is bring together the piping qualifications, the drumming qualifications, and how do you bring that into the whole pipe band scene. And the syllabus, which is virtually now agreed, covers really from the start what's the history of pipe bands, how did pipe bands ever come to be in the first place, into how to run it, how to create a pipe band, how to administer a pipe band, how to teach people in the pipe band, how to select tunes for a pipe band, how to do group tuning on the pipe corps, the drum corps, different types of drums, and then the pipe band, how to think about creating a pipe band performance, whether it's for competitions or for concerts, and then how to present that performance. So things that have never really been tackled before, collectively will be in this new syllabus, and hopefully that will be introduced next year. So the whole idea behind that is to help pipe bands develop, and hopefully by that time the Scottish Qualifications Authority will have accredited the qualifications, so it's given them a status that they've never had before. And there will also be credit links that anybody who wants to progress into other forms of music will be able to carry the credit for the theory they've learned in the piping or the drumming or the pipe band studies, and carry it through into other forms of music. So hopefully that will take it even further.
Good, thanks, Alistair. Just a quick quote from Joe, and then we're going to have a 10-minute break.
I picked up on what you said there about the social aspect of your band, gentlemen there from the City of Sheffield. We focus very heavily on the competitive side of the game, and I honestly believe that a lot of the guys that are playing at the lower ends of the competition spectrum get more pleasure out of their music than they do sometimes in grade one, where winning is obsessive and you only got one happy group at the end of the day, where down below you have several happy groups. Now we must be doing something right if we've got 200 odd pipe bands visiting the World Championship from goodness knows it's either 14 or 17 different countries. I think that's a huge compliment to our music, that people from other cultures are prepared to sit down night after night and learn our music. I think that's fantastic. I just think it's, if we've achieved anything, we've achieved that. And sometimes we can get absolutely strung up in the competitive side. There is a broader side to it, it's music and it's enjoyment. And I think I would like to hear more from the guys who are playing down at that end of the spectrum as to what they would like to do. Okay, you like to get better, but would you like to play more different time signatures? Would you get more enjoyment, stress that one, out of a more varied competitive outlook than just a group of matches?
Okay, thanks, Joe.
I'd like to make a point, Joe, when you said there that the 200 pipe bands coming over for the World Championship. About 80% of these 200 pipe bands are in grade 4. in grade 3. So the World Championship is catering for the lower end of the scale. And I think the important is the upper end of the scale. But a lot of these guys in the grade 4 and grade 3, they're not playing the music, they're playing themselves. So it depends which end that the Pipe Band Association want to aim for. But this 200 pipe band, the very important thing, 80% are down to grade 4 and grade 3 and grade 4. How many first grade bands are playing?
But you're always going to get this pyramid effect.
Aye, but the point I'm making, the pyramid is very, very, very broad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the map thing, I think the philosophy behind the map exercise has been very good. I think it was well intentioned, and for some bands who had no real structure, teaching structure, at least it's given them something to work on and something to look at. And if that elevates the standard, terrific, you know. But you know, we can't stop people from playing bagpipes and drums.
I think we're guilty of coming away from traditional music in its simplest form.
Mm-hmm.
We don't exhibit that at the top end. There's maybe an argument for making the top bands play a very, very simple piece of Scottish music and tell them what tune it is, so that the only thing they can do is deliver the music. They don't give them the opportunity to play stuff that's technically driven, to showboat the technical side of the drum, or showboat the technical side of the finger work and the unison. All other areas of music don't frown upon playing simple melody, whereas we seem to be going down a competitive sporting route that we're going to play a tune, and in this first tune we're going to have 5 E-drays and tor lyrics in every second bar, and the drum corps is going to be going through the rudiment, through the whole A to Z in the first tune. And that's the sporting element of it. That maybe we should have, like they sometimes do in some solo competitions where they say there's a 6-8 march competition. And that's when you find out how good the player is, because all you can deliver is good phrasing and play 6-8 time. You know, there's no place to show off that you're a great player. When you see the solo players playing, they actually, when they're tuning their pipes, a lot of the top players will showcase their finger work with their tuning phrases, and they're actually telling you before they start, listen, I'm a really good player. There's 15 barrels to the second here and doing it again to establish to you that they're a great player, because this tune I'm about to play is maybe not going to show you that. You know, technically, because it's a simple piece of music. And then you find when they play, they don't deliver from here, they deliver from here. You know, and we're guilty of that in solo piping and in pipe bands. I would say, why don't we have a grade 1 competition to play a slow march? You know, you know, and then you would actually need to deliver music, not showcase how good you are technically, or you know, how many rudiments you can cram into the bar.
A good demonstration of technique for drummers to play
Yeah,
slow march.
it would be one of the hardest things to produce tonally. You know, to blow the tone and hold the top notes for long periods of time. Never mind trying to play all the fancy movements to keep
I
it
think
up.
we're getting on to the next half of the show. We're talking about these things. So we'll have a 10-minute break. There's tea and coffee there, folks, and we'll be back here in